Guys, welcome back to our update stream. We will live trade today, hopefully a lot, because the Genius Act is about to get passed in 5 minutes. And this could lead to a massive pump in Bitcoin. And I just saw Bitcoin is already pushing to the upside in anticipation of that. Should definitely not miss out on this stream, because there's, again, so much stuff that I have prepared for you that we're going over here. So make sure that you are staying around, and you know the drill, guys. Let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in here on this Thursday evening. So I will be here around for a little bit. Amazing, already 50 people here. I will try to see if I can find a live stream. I think on C-SPAN is a live stream for this. So let me see here, maybe even here, because the house will come together in 5 minutes, actually in 4 minutes, and vote on passing that bill that went yesterday through the Senate. So it's C-SPAN. So we need C-SPAN. C-SPAN. Let's see if we have here. C-SPAN. House session. There. That is what we want. We want the house session. There we go.
I have had it with trying to organize.
I hate when there's advertising. Skip this ad. Give me the house session.
Leader for justice. She's from Massachusetts, Ms. Presley.
The gentlewoman from Massachusetts is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Ranking Member Waters. Mr. Speaker, I rise in vigorous opposition to the Clarity Act. This bill gives a green light to self-enriching crypto schemes where officials at the highest levels of power, including in the White House, have generated hundreds of billions of dollars in personal profit. We need legislation that stops financial abuse, not encourages it, especially during a time when the SEC has dropped enforcement actions against major crypto firms and undermined investor safety. Across our country, millions of working families are battling rising costs. Our elders are targeted by financial scams, and investors are trying to recover from volatile markets. But Republicans are ignoring all of that to prioritize the crypto industry's wish list. To be clear, the people deserve crypto legislation that is fair, transparent, and accountable, not a bill that opens the
So Bitcoin actually keeps pumping while they're speaking on the floor.
The Clarity Act fails that test. Republicans need some clarity, all right, moral and legislative. I agree with Ranking Member Waters. This is really the Calamity Act, and I urge my colleagues to oppose this bill.
The gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman from California has reserved. The gentleman from Arkansas is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself the remainder of my time.
The gentleman is recognized.
We're here today, Mr. Speaker, because of the exceptional work by the House Financial Services Committee over a 5-year period, including under the leadership of then-Chair Maxine Waters and our former Chairman Patrick McHenry, gathering feedback.
Bitcoin is not having it. It's just going through the roof here right now. I wish I could also, I have to figure that out for the next streams, how I actually put the Bitcoin chart here at the same time somewhere here on the screen, or a widget or something.
Since then, the Clarity Act has only been further refined and strengthened in terms of legal.
I have no other idea what we can do.
This bill, Mr. Speaker, as we've demonstrated over that period of time, would prevent.
So let me do something different here, if I can do that. Can I? Yes.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Perfect. So now we can look at Bitcoin.
May I inquire how much time I have remaining?
Let me see a good chart for that. Where I saw us pumping here, there, 50 minutes chart. Look at this candle.
Gentlewoman from California, Ms. Kamala Dove.
Gentlewoman from California.
So here, that break of the trend line would have been the next trading setup for me. So now we moved a little bit away from that, but not that much.
Crypto holds for expanding financial access and economic justice. But this bill is not clarity. It is confusion cloaked in legislation. It picks winners and losers.
So I'm gonna leave it like this so that you can, is it fine? You know, is it not, how to say that? Not too quiet? You know, is it not too quiet? Is it still loud enough that you can hear everything if I stop speaking?
Issues like transparency, fraud prevention, or gain the most, that ignore the voices of everyday.
Okay, you know what we'll do, guys? We're gonna leave here that small pop-up window on mute. And at the same time, we are going through the charts, because this might still take a little bit, you know, until they actually get to the proper vote. And I think that Bitcoin in the meantime will already do its thing. So now I actually want to check this, but I can't. Oh, I have to pull that up. Give me here a second, guys. I have here something to move around on the screen. That's not for your eyes. So now I'm back. So because we have up here something, 1 second. So, okay, let me go where I had prepared everything for today, because I believe during that Bitcoin pump here, there are some coins where you can still get entries. So, but let's talk about Bitcoin really quick here. So first of all, DXY is here in the evening pumping to the upside, retesting 99 points, not really worried about that. Like I mentioned earlier today, as long as we're not breaking 99 points. If the Genius Act gets passed, I think the dollar is going to tank really heavily to the downside. So here on the daily chart, where we have our Elliott wave count, getting a consolidation phase somewhere in the middle of that wave 3 is also not really something unusual. I have seen that multiple times unfolding here. So that could, it will most likely turn out to be here some sort of a pennant. And then you get here conservatively a break like that. And it will lead to end here in the golden ratio at around $132,000. So, and when we're here in the golden ratio, somewhere in the golden ratio will the wave 3 stop of that move here. Could be, as I mentioned, a little bit above, could be somewhere in the golden ratio. We don't know yet, but somewhere in these levels is where this is going to stop. And the passing of the Genius Act could initiate that pump that we are looking for out of that pennant right now. Worst case, I would say after passing the Genius Act, it could happen by tomorrow. But honestly, if it gets passed here right now, which everybody's already anticipating, that's why Bitcoin is going up, then we could see this, see within the hour, within the hour that we're actually breaking here to the upside. Now on the Bollinger Bands, the same thing, just consolidating within the band. That's what we want to see for continuation here into our overall target of $136,200. On the daily chart, strength in Bitcoin, and that we are holding above the golden ratio. So if we can close above that level here, the 1.618, you have again confluence that we go to $130,000 to 2.618, potentially 3.618. But I would not count on that. So many times the 3.618 is unreliable for Bitcoin. It's like a coin cost, so if we are reaching that target here in the short term, mid, long term, definitely we are going to reach that. But now short term, I'm not so sure if we can make it all the way up there. On the MDX Algo scalp gradients, we got here 2 more candles since this morning. Again, a little bit lighter, but as I also mentioned here, this is just a sideways consolidation phase, and we're trying now to reclaim the daily open. If we can do that, if we can actually reclaim the daily open in this current Bitcoin move, then also here expect continuation. So here in the previous 4-hourly candle where we even retested the weekly open, I think that was a little bit too much. That's why we got this harsh rejection back to the downside, but just reclaiming the daily open and getting then a continuation move by tomorrow above the weekly open, that is what I'm actually looking for here. So if we get it now, like I said, in the next hour immediately, I will be not mad about that too, So, but also here on the reactor indicator, I would love to see here a second dot plot, the same that we have down here. A second one would be amazing for confirmation that this is just sideways chop. You will have a proper confirmation of continuation if we are first of all closing the 4-hourly candle that we have right now above the 20 moving average here, and then a proper confirmation will come in when we get above $118,800. So that is for me the level where I gonna enter with size in a new Bitcoin trade into a new all-time high. Because once we are above that level and have flipped this into support, the only way is up. Nowhere else we can actually go then. On the 1 hourly chart, so here you actually see why we got the rejection earlier here from the weekly open, because again, we were here in that red resistance area that I pointed out this morning. Now we are trying to break into this again, and you see here how perfectly every single time the underlying support box is holding. You know, so we only get wicks to the top side of it and straight bounce back to the upside. And actually, we are forming here a small W pattern on the 30 minutes chart, most likely. So here, yeah, again, it's a $200 difference to what I just said on the other chart, you know, so $119,173 for a break of the W pattern that will go here into $121,000 more or less. Here on the 1 hourly chart, you can also see MACD turning around, so momentum shifting to the upside. Stochastic printed already a buy signal. RSI also slightly pointing here to the upside. So a lot of signs that momentum is here now favoring to push back above $120,000 in the next 12 to 24 hours, maybe even faster than that. On the 15 minutes chart, as I just mentioned during the brief moment where I showed the hearing, you see here that downward sloping trend line is the line to watch for me, or was the line to watch. So from here, I wanted normally to take a new trade position. We are slightly above the entry of that trade setup, so you'll be not too late to enter this right now and trade the continuation then into that target here of $120,725. So you could technically also hold it longer and turn this into a swing trade, but this is up to you. Right now, I like to have trades quick in and out, compound my profits, and end up with a really big amount by the end of the run, and then put this into stable coins, in some other things where I cash out a little bit and make some investments. And then in the bear market, I sit there with USDT and wait for the bottom. The last bottom, I called the last bottom so spot on, the $15,000. I think $15,800, $900 was what I called, and it went 15,600. You know, so I was like off by 2%. You know, so nobody really cares about 2%. You know what? Try to call a bottom like that. You know, so like a bear market bottom by literally 1 or 2%. You know, being off by 1 or 2%. I will do it the next time again. I did it also in that bull market before that, where I was not on YouTube yet, but they also called the bull market bottom. Bear market bottom. I will do this in the next one again, and that's where we're gonna load up a shit ton of coins. And for that, of course, I have to sit in USDT. Now, if you want to take this trade with me together, guys, do that on BloFin. So here, my injective BloFin trade was closed. I shared this on Twitter and in my Telegram group. Just that you see here that I actually did this. I made $5,500 today. Really easy with that trade. And the funny thing is, I sold here in that red candle, you know, so it went up here to like $14.43. So I missed like 2%, you know, in profits, but then it went straight back, you know, so of course not to my to the entry, but it went pretty low here again. So I'm really happy about how this turned out. Again, if you want to trade with me together on BloFin, there is a link, first of all, pinned in the chat and also in the description, and after the stream in the comment section will be also a link pinned. If you sign up there and reach these trading milestones, you will guaranteed get these items. So you can get a Rolex, iPhone, MacBook, Apple Vision Pro, whatever you want of that. Hit the trading milestones and you're gonna be able to do that. And it's actually pretty easy to hit some of these milestones. You don't need a lot of money to actually get to that trading volume, because you have to understand this is with leverage. You know, with 50x leverage, getting to 100 million volume means like you have to generate 20 million from your own money, 2 million out of your own money to do this. And that's really easy. If you have like $10,000-$20,000, I do this like in 2 weeks, you know, within a week, actually right now, within a week, I would be doing this. Also, if you want to join the trading group, the alpha trading group that I have here, you need to sign up with my link on BloFin, deposit $500, and send then a message either on Telegram or on Twitter to me or my team, and then we're going to send you the link to enter this. Now, here on the liquidation levels, what I see unfolding here for us is that Bitcoin will attempt to break here into the over-leveraged short liquidity all the way up to $122,800 approximately. Maybe if we are really lucky, we get a small wick above the previous all-time high. I don't see a straight break of that with continuation. But we could put in a wick slightly above that, then we come back down, from here support, and then we move into a proper all-time high with continuation. So that's what I'm seeing here. So if for some weird reason the market turns around here and something really strange happens with the Genius Act, then we're gonna get a retest of the 50 moving average here at $117,000 approximately, with a wick below that, come back up again and then get the continuation. But right now it doesn't look like that. It looks like Bitcoin wants to go up and is right now just more or less hovering around the same price, because everybody's waiting what's coming out here now out of that vote for the bill. So, and we're gonna see that. When I start voting, I go back to the stream down here, so we're gonna see that. I pay attention to that. On the liquidation heat map, also here I think not much has changed. No, nothing has really changed. We got a little bit closer to the concentrated long liquidity down here, but that doesn't mean that we are going to go now all the way down to these levels. So also short liquidity is still building up above us. So, and yeah, once the bill is passed here in the House, expect that we get a short squeeze above $120,000. The Bitcoin dominance keeps breaking down here, which is amazing, but I want to warn you here. And then we start getting into our proper trades here. 1 second. One second. So here we are keeping to break down on dominance, but like I said, I want to remind you that this is not what we want to see like happening all over, so with continuation. Then we just see here break, going down. That would be really bad, So what we want to see here at some point, most likely around the 62% mark, a small bounce, a little bit sideways chop, and then continuation. That is healthy. You want to see a healthy move to the downside, and not that we are just keep breaking here down, because when the bounce comes, it will be a really, really ugly bounce for us. Really, really ugly. Yes, BloFin has cross margin. So I lost you guys again here on my stream. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna try to figure it out. Do you guys still see me? Let me know quick in the comments if you still see me and the screen, because here for in my YouTube studio it tells me it's basically loading. So I just want to make sure that you still see me. In the meantime, I will continue in the hopes that you actually do. Yes, perfect. So here the total free market cap was already about above $1 trillion. I told you guys this is going to happen fairly quickly. I said it could happen today. It happened. Now, when we are closing today above $1 trillion, then I expect all-time highs on the total free market cap by the end of next week, because it is already this week's end, more or less. So I see this happening by the end of next week, mid to end next week. We will break total free market cap all-time highs. So this altcoin season is accelerating way faster than what I thought, and is actually giving merit to what I said a couple of days ago, where I said this run is resembling a lot the 2017 run that I have seen in the past. So, and seeing coins exploding right now as they do, this is 2017 bull run feeling what I have. So, and that makes me even more bullish, but it's also dangerous, guys. It's also dangerous because even myself, I still get FOMO sometimes, but I catch myself, having FOMO. Let me go quick. So I catch myself having FOMO, and what I do then is I try to ground myself. I'm like, okay, I have to be careful here. You know, I have been here before and got burned. So I have to ground myself, think about, okay, take a step away, look twice at the trades that I want to take, and then actually take these trades. You know, so when you feel too safe in your positions, first of all, you take more leverage than you should do. You use more money than you should do. And then you're glued to the screen, you know, for 48 hours, get sleep deprived, you know, so and all these kind of things. You don't want that in a bull run. You want to have proper sleep so your brain is rested, well rested, that you have a clear mind, no brain fog, nothing, when you actually go then into the market and try to make money, you know. So if you are feeling fucked up when you wake up, you know, because you slept 3 hours and watched even in bed on your phone how your trades are doing, that's not how you want to spend the bull market, you know, because this with the institutional money in the market, this will most likely go on for a couple of months. You know, you're gonna ruin your health and your portfolio when you do that, you know. So and that's why it's really, really important when you catch yourself having FOMO, being too excited, that you actually like, hey, chill. You know, you can like be excited all the time when the bull market is over and you made all the money that you want. You know, be excited about that. You know, have fun with a little bit of the money, but not during a bull run, you know. So you waited 4 years for this to be happening potentially again, when all your friends told you in 2021, oh, I bought a Ferrari, I bought a Lambo, I bought a house, I bought whatever, a nice pair of shoes or a watch, you know. So and you now you are here and you don't want to fuck this up, you know. So that's the most important lesson here for everybody on the stream, because it happened to me too, you know. So I fucked up a lot. 2017, I was basically sidelined more or less in that run, you know. So I made a little bit of money, but I could have made so much more money if I would have been way smarter about everything. So here on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, I mentioned earlier this morning that when we come to this neckline here, that I expect a rejection from there. Currently, we are seeing this rejection. There's still a little bit more than 3 days that we can move here above that line, but regardless of that, even if we move above that line, I think it will be a wick. It will be a wick, and before this kind of closes, we will be, in the best case scenario, slightly above that line or slightly below that line. That's where I see that kind of finishing, which is fine, you know, which is fine. There's no issue with that, but you have to remember that this area here where we are at right now is a massive resistance area for the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So, and for that simple reason, I don't see us closing that candle massively above that line. If we would actually do that, it would be insane. You know, it would be absolutely insane, because I know the next candle will look like this. And then Ethereum will be by $4,000 in the next 10 days, really quickly, if that's happening. So, but I'm not expecting that again, you know. So what I see more is that, like I just said, close just below or above. Next week, then a doji candle, and then continuation and blast off. So when we're looking at the others chart, that excludes the top 10 coins, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything. So here you see also we are currently at a resistance. We're slightly, really slightly below that, you know, like with 0.07 billion dollars. So this will also break next week, most likely. It can still break this week, but I would also not expect that we are getting here a candle close above that level. So if we get a candle close above that, amazing, because then also here, the next major level that we move into would be here, 369 billion roughly. So there is the next major resistance before we hit almost all-time highs here on the others chart, so here that level. So and at the same time, I want to remind you, I have shown that the other day too, here is a massive W pattern forming. You know, here's the neckline of it. So here, that's how you measure the target. You go to the lowest closed candle in the W pattern. Here, $1.06 trillion on the others chart, excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything. So that is a massive run that's still coming here. You know, that's basically a 4x in total market cap on the others, which just shows you how much more of a run we have here, you know. But I want to remind you, this can happen really fast. You know, we went here up over $50 billion in 10 days, basically. So if you now extrapolate that, if we have to move another 800 billion to that target here, and you divide that by 50, so that that gives you like 16 with 10 days, 160 days. So that's basically 5 months and 3 weeks, 1 week, 5 months and 1 week. That's what it is, you know. So you have 5 months and 1 week potentially, if you calculate it like that, to make all the money, and then the run is in the short term over. I have also, of course, still my positions here on Bybit, my Aptos position and my Avi position still running. If you want to trade also on Bybit with me, where I still trade the majority of my altcoins, you get up to $30,000 in sign-up and deposit bonuses, plus a Bybit card. I will get on Monday my new Bybit card. Gonna show it to you when I get it with the nice box and everything. And there I get 20% cashback on that. So yeah, get a Bybit account, get the card, because the cashback alone is worth it. You know, so imagine you. I know a lot of you guys most likely struggle with paying fuel, you know, for your car, you know, so because fuel is expensive in Europe, for example, or in the US, you know, but I think US cannot get a card. But in Europe, for example, fuel is expensive, you know, not like here in Ukraine where it's like $1, you know, so in Europe it's like double. So if you get 20% back paying with the card, why would you not do that? You know, over the whole month, you will save so much money just by saving on the fuel for your card. So yeah, take the link in the description and in the pin comment below after I end the stream to take advantage of that. Now Ethereum pushed here now pretty hard, almost to $3,500. Again, the music will stop here really soon for Ethereum. I don't see this continuing. There is a small possibility that we keep pushing all the way up here to $3,800 into that resistance. It could happen depending on how Ethereum behaves here against Bitcoin tomorrow. So, but this will be the last push here that I definitely see for Ethereum happening before we get a massive rejection from there back to the downside. Because you have to understand, we are heavily overextended. Only the MACD is still bullish here, but everything else is insanely overextended. So, and that means at some point the music stops and we will come down, and we will come down hard once that is happening. So, and I want you to be prepared for that, because this will also affect a lot of altcoins when this is happening for Ethereum, you know. So it can be that if Bitcoin starts pumping to the upside past $120,000 and Ethereum loses its strength against Bitcoin, and then you see actually Ethereum turning around because Bitcoin is extracting all the money basically again out of the altcoin market because it's pumping, and then you see altcoins suffering while Bitcoin is going up. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. So here you see one reason for that on the Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern is also that we are here now in that resistance area of $3,487. We touched that to the cent, got rejected right now from there, and in a healthy market we would see a pullback from there now, you know. So a 5-10% pullback in Ethereum, then break this and get the continuation. If we break it tomorrow, then that pullback, like I said, will be most likely about around $380 where we are getting that. So I'm still going to pay attention here to the house vote down here. I think in 7 minutes, then everybody was speaking for 30 minutes since they started, then we're going to get that. So I'm waiting for that right now. And in the meantime, we are keep going through coins here. So Solana pumped to the upside. I told you earlier today, here around $170, I would take a position from there because we retested the neckline of that W pattern, and it would be good to take a position from there. I hope some of you guys did, because you are now already in the money. And when I look at Bitcoin, the overall market, we could potentially see here another attempt today to go here to $180 because the stochastic is printing a buy signal here. The RSI is currently pointing down, but that's because we are just below a resistance area and got rejected from there. And the MACD is still absolutely flying, absolutely flying. So here in 1 hour and 35 minutes, if we close the candle as it is, I expect that the next candle will go to past $180. Also here, you see on the bump and run pattern, once we are breaking above $180, if you're not in a position right now, that is the next level where I would open a position from. But you would be also fine doing that right now. If we pull further back, then all the way down to like $167 is where I would keep opening a position. If we fall below that, I would wait for a reclaim of that level. But otherwise, here in between is absolutely fine. If you want to wait now for a secure and safe confirmation, you need $180 to be broken and a 1 hourly candle closing above that to get here into a trade all the way up to at least $236, you know, because the $207 target doesn't really cut it, you know. So from 180 here, that's a 15% move, but I would not be looking for a 15% move right now in the market, because coins doing this right now in like less than 24 hours. You know, I'm gonna show you here in a moment some of these coins that are doing that. Take as an example Injective. Injective, just want to make sure. Oh, sorry. I just saw that. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to show the chart. So here, I go back. I just saw that. Yeah. I got it. It's fine. Was my mistake, guys. My bad. So, but yeah. So here, like I just said, anywhere in between here, where we are at right now, is when we go to long. If we go back into that neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, go to long as long as we're above that. If we break below that, I would wait for a reclaim. Otherwise, if you want to play it really safe, $180, and then you trade the continuation to at least $236 or even higher than that to $270. Now, Injective is one of these coins that moved here really quickly. I go only back to yesterday. Let's see here, yesterday, midnight, that candle. So from yesterday to today, 11.12% was for now the high. So almost 15%, you know, and that in a single day, basically in less than 24 hours, you know. So, and that's why I'm saying you don't want like just 15% out of a coin right now, you know. So you want actually more gains. And I rather hold a coin now for 3, 4, 5 days and make 40, 50%, you know, which is way better, of course, than 15% for like a day or two, you know. So keep it a little bit longer and you make potentially double the money, you know, on your position. So it makes no real sense to me to hold a position for a day or two. One of the coins that I'm currently looking at again for a bigger move is Aptos. I have currently already an Aptos position, but I think about to add more to that position from the current levels. Oh no, they're still speaking. Okay, I thought they went on to the vote now. You are not too late to enter this here. Originally, the entry was given at $5.07, but we are up only 3% higher than that. So the overall move is 40%. 3% doesn't make a huge difference here, you know. So take the trade, especially since, where was this coming from? This was coming from that W pattern down here. So here's also a W pattern on that daily chart. So here you have a W pattern. Just need to move up this here to the neckline that we are basically testing right now. So we're testing right now the neckline of this W pattern, and I'm pretty sure the target needs to be way higher than that. Don't know where this was coming from. So here, the target is $6.65 on only on that W formation. So and then you see we're pretty close here to hit the overall target where we have a major resistance and $7.05. And the same with like Injective. You know, Injective went here up into that resistance. You can see that here. If I draw here a line, make it a little bit thicker. Oh, let me see here. There. Major resistance, as you can see here. Resistance, resistance, deviation, deviation, resistance, resistance, all over here. So no wonder that we got rejected from there. Let me make this a little bit thicker. And the same will happen with Aptos too. You know, that $7.05 level is a huge resistance. You only have to look here to the left, there, there. Here it was strong support and we got a massive impulse move from there to the upside. But I'm telling you, because it was now here and there resistance, when we come up there, we get an initial rejection. And there I want to get out. You know, I don't want to round trip profits like by 20 or even 30% maybe, I rather get out and then reposition myself for a trade here in Aptos. So my spot backs is different, you know, and also my swing positions is different. But like my short-term trades, I get out there and then compound the profits and roll them over into a new trade, either again back into Aptos or something else. The book for Solana. So that is the textbook for trading. You know, for I have to look it up again. What the exact name is for the book? I actually have the book, but it slipped my mind right now. But it is a book specifically for trading. It might be Trading for Dummies, if I'm not mistaken. Might be Trading for Dummies. So, but it is the original textbook for charts, and it will explain trading patterns, charts and indicators in that book, and will give you like a huge explanation how these patterns actually work. So it's definitely a good read, you know, especially if you start out with trading. Now here another coin that I'm looking at right now is Hype again. Hype came here into the golden ratio, got rejected from there. That was also what I told you guys. Expect a rejection from that golden ratio here, because $50 is a round number. Around numbers, we tend to get rejections. Now, when we break above $46.87, that might be a good moment to enter here trade again for a retest of $50. So which would be roughly an 8% move from there, I think. Yeah, it's more or less. Yeah, okay, it's like a 6.7% move to the upside. And here the indicators are all telling you this is going to fly again. You know, here, buy signal on the stochastic, momentum shifting on the MACD back to the bulls, and also the RSI put in here a small bullish divergence to the upside. So absolutely massive here, and a good moment to start to think about to build a position. And here again, if you want to play it super safe, you wait for that downward sloping trend line to be broken. But honestly, I would not wait. The horizontal level is here way more important for me. I would actually add, if I want not to go in with all the money in that position directly, then I would leave money on the side for that break of the downward sloping trend line here, and then add here the rest and trade this then past $50 into the next target that is at $62.51. So now let's talk about some of the coins that I had prepared. Link chart. So curve. I have to, guys. I have to. I told you it will go to over $1 really fast. I hope some of you guys were able to catch that trade. I couldn't. You know, I was not fast enough to catch that trade. Then something else that exploded was, let me look this up again because I had everything prepared. Ooh. So 1 second. Okay, so let's see, where is it? Where did it go now? Just a second, guys. Here, there. So I have to switch to the other chart over here. Yes, so there. HNT. HNT, what did I tell you guys? I told you yesterday, it was literally yesterday, I said if we are breaking here, $3.20, what was it here? No, $3.30. I said it starts to going to fly. Maybe I said it at $3.24. I think $3.24 was the level that I said. Yeah. So I said it will start spiking into the golden ratio. So I hope a lot of you guys were actually able to catch that one, but that was like in the last week, definitely one of the best calls that I made, you know, so because we went here so quick, so fast today, and now we are trying to retest this again, you know, so this is crazy. So that coin is absolutely going ballistic here. That is a coin that I would not enter right now because it starts to go parabolic, you know, so unless it flips the golden ratio, I would wait for a pullback, for a proper pullback, and that might be going to like $3.30 or something like that. So then on the higher time frames, and that's what I actually wanted to show you guys, there is still room for it in the short term to go here all the way up to $4.18. And look at this W pattern again. That's the only thing that you need to look for. You know, I said it earlier to you guys, only look for this. You know, so and when you have your golden ratios where we get rejected, when we get a move back down into lower levels, that's where you want to long that from, into the neckline of these W patterns. And then you can decide if you take some chips off the table, wait for the pullback, add back to the position, and then get the break, and then it's continuation to the upside. There's so much more room for that coin alone to go here higher. So here, like I said, because it pumped so much today already, I would not get into this. But if it breaks here $3.62 and closes at least a 1 hour, 4 hourly candle above that, that's from where I would trade the continuation if it's not pulling back. Let me see here. With did I have XRP on the list? No, I have Cardano. Cardano, look here, where we got rejected on the neckline of the W pattern. So that might be one of the coins that will break next the neckline of the W pattern with simultaneously breaking this downward sloping trend line. And then the trade setup that you are looking at is the overall W pattern here. And guys, it's really that easy. You know, find a W pattern, trade the W pattern. You don't need to do anything else. You know, and look at this here. Target 35% to the upside. You put the stop loss below the current daily candle low, 10.74%, and you trade this with 3x leverage. You know, maybe if you're a little bit crazy, 5x leverage, and you make really good money on that really quickly. You know, when that trend line breaks, because it's again a multi-month trend line from December last year, you're gonna get a jump here close to $1. The same what Curve did. You know, it went straight a little bit above $1. So you're gonna see here the same thing. It will happen really, really quickly. So here's something happening right now with the chair of the house. Let's see what he's saying. Go back to tab. Oh, wow, they're going to debate for an hour.
Each will control 30 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Arkansas, Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask
1 hour.
that all members may have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous material on this bill.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support of the Senate Genius Act. And I thank my colleague and longtime friend, Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, for his leadership in ushering this bipartisan bill through the United States Senate. Around the world, payment systems are undergoing an evolution. New technologies are modernizing legacy infrastructure and unlocking innovative solutions to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and expand access to financial services. Members of this House Financial Services Committee have long recognized the promise of payment stablecoins and have worked since 2022 to establish a legislative framework. Last Congress, under the leadership of former Chairman Patrick McHenry of North Carolina, the committee passed the Clarity for Payment Stablecoins Act of 2023. This bill provided for bank and non-bank pathways for issuers to obtain regulatory approval, preserve state-level oversight, and set standards for reserve composition, audits, and sound risk management. When the 119th Congress started in January, we picked up this effort. In close coordination with the Senate Banking Committee, and our base legislation and our legislative work over the past 2 years has laid that foundation for the progress made in both the House and the Senate. Today we have an opportunity to send stablecoin legislation to President.
Yeah, I think they're going to debate still for an hour, so which is a little bit crazy. So I rather see later what the outcome is. I will be not here for another hour, guys. You know, so it's a little bit crazy. I have to be somewhere else later. So, and I also want to get up early, go to the gym and everything. Oh shit, I forgot something what I what I needed to do. Okay, it's fine. I will be able to do this tomorrow. So let's go here back to coins. So that I want to go through. And I'm also gonna have a look here in the chat in a little bit. So let me go back here to where I was. So actually, no, curve was another one that I wanted to talk about. Where was the curve chart now? So curve. So here we have broken now that neckline of the W pattern. That's why you want to wait for a pullback. You know, so the only other level that I would be looking at, if you're not getting here straight a pullback, at least to like 96 to 89 cents in that region, you know, so that's where you want to open a new position for a continuation move higher, is $1.11. So you cannot open a position right now because we're running here into resistance again, you know, so and you want that we break $1.11 because that's a huge resistance. If we break that, that's your next basically blind area where you just open a new position. And my camera shut itself off again, so 1 second. Yeah, my camera doesn't like to be on more than 40 minutes, I think, because then every single time it's shutting down because it's getting too hot. Camera does not like that at all. Sorry. Yeah, but there we are again. Yeah. Yeah, I think I heard about this in the past that the camera that I have actually, yeah, after a while it shuts down, but it's fine. So now let me move on here to other coins. Sui. Sui is another one that I'm looking at right now to add more to it. I have a position running on Sui. Here the trade that I gave the last time from $3.90 3 days ago. So that is now in almost 4% profit. Would not enter this anymore. Here again, wait for the break of the W, $4.23. That's from where you enter the next major move here. You know, so I gave you the trade here at $3.90 all the way up here, but you're not too late for this overall big trade here because it's still 54% to the upside once we're breaking out of that W formation. If you want a better entry, I'm gonna make a video in the next coming days where I'm gonna explain some bull market strategies, not only with the one that I showed you already, how I find entries, there's some others that I also do a little bit more advanced. So watch out for that video when this is coming out. So I try to do it in the next couple of days. I really try to get it out as fast as possible. But yeah, I can only also work as fast as some people in my team, you know, with that kind of stuff. So let's have a look. I think we did not know. So Uni is one that you can actually long right now. I have a trade running from around these current levels here. Tomorrow I expect a move here in direction of $9.70. For a simple reason. The reason is that we are consolidating here in that big support area and flipping this here into massive support. Here, the last time we got rejected from there. Also over here, we got rejected. Now we're actually holding the $8.70 mark and with a wick, and it's for me a bullish indication that we are getting here really soon continuation, and the first target is the $9.70, which is an 8% move from the current level. Yeah, it's a little bit higher than that, like 8.2 or something like that. But the overall pattern that we have here is, what kind of pattern was that here? Where I took the measured move from. I actually forgot from where I took that measured move. Yeah, so but the measured move is going here to $12.42. That's the bigger target. So and here again, when you go back here to the run in November, how quick we went here to almost $20, just to give you perspective again, when we were above $8.40. So here again, the same thing. We consolidated a little bit between $8.40 and $9.70. And when it broke $9.70, it started flying to $12.42 and then higher. So and that whole process took 3 weeks. 3 weeks to do that. So and that was an over 100% move. So even from current levels, it should be, yeah, over 100% here, 116%. 3 weeks, you know. So here $12.42 will be coming really quick, maybe a week, you know. So and that's already almost 50%. Then the next one is Arbitrum. I know some people were asking for Arbitrum. What do I have still here on this one? Lido, I think is this not here in this list? No, Lido is not here. What else was there? Okay, all the other coins are on this chart here. So Arbitrum, I know some people were asking for Arbitrum. So here, massive breakout right now. All of that ascending triangle. And I want to say this again, this is not too late to enter, you know. So this will become too late to enter when we go past 46 cents. Then it's too late, you know. So right now we are still consolidating above the neckline of this ascending triangle. I would still enter this now to trade this here into 51 cents. And from there, if we break 51 cents, the next targets are 70 cents and 75 cents too. These are the next levels afterwards. And if you look at this, if you enter this right now, and you would keep that trade, you're looking here at 72%. And also Arbitrum is a fast mover. But Arbitrum is heavily dependent on Ethereum. So you have always to have a look at that at the same time. And then Lido, look at this here. So here, the W pattern has not even completed. That's why I believe it's a really, really good coin that you can get in right now. Just be aware that we are currently running here also into resistance or close. Yeah, we basically tested that resistance earlier today and got already rejected from it at almost 97 cents. When it breaks this resistance, it will snap to $1.70. If it breaks the neckline of the W pattern, $1.70 is the next target. So from current, let's say you would take the risk, enter this now, you're looking at 82%. So, but be aware, on the way up is this multi-month downward sloping trend line. And there I expect again a rejection. Then here that red area that's also right now a resistance area will turn into support. And then we get the next, so basically go up here, get rejected, come back into that red area, which will then be support, consolidate, break above this, go higher into that target over here. That's what, how I see this playing out. So I'm definitely heavily inclined on all these coins that I've shown you to take new positions here in the next coming days. And then another one that you should have also on your map right now is Doge, because it's the same thing. You know, look at this. This right side of this W is not completed yet, but we are at a resistance level coming from this candle over here. If I draw here a line, you're gonna see it. Oh, I have a steady hand today to draw a line like this. So where we get rejected, once we're above that line, I would definitely go in with size, because the next move, I think it's a 20% move to 25 cents from here, or almost, yeah, almost a 16% move here to 25.2 cents. And then the measured move from the W pattern, when we break that level, is going here to 35 cents and 7.5. So also again, a massive, massive move over a 50% move to the upside. Now, let me have a look in the chat. I'm here already 53 minutes again. I'm surprised that my cam is not going crazy. Let's see here. I'm not really interested in meme coins just yet. I mentioned that also earlier today, that I'm not really interested in meme coins that much just yet, you know, so I will be more interested at a later stage, but not now. So let me see here. Oh, High is a shitcoin in my opinion. I don't know how High is doing, but it was not doing well a couple of weeks back. I remember it was not doing really well. Let me see. Do I still have High here? Oh, I actually wanted to look here. Oh, okay, this is fine. Do I still have a High chart here? Same thing, here's a W formation on the daily chart. Neckline 79, yeah, almost 80 cents. I would say 80 cents. So a move to 80 cents is almost a 20% move, over a 20% move to the upside if you enter this right now. But again, look here, we are also here at the resistance. If it breaks 65 cents, I would take the risk to enter this, and then you have here another 23% to the neckline of the W pattern, and that's where I would close the trade and wait and see what happens. So or you raise your stop loss high enough that you make enough money regardless. Like at 18% profit, you set the stop loss. When you're here at the neckline, you have 5% buffer. If it goes against you, you lose only 5% on spot instead of round tripping everything. So, or you just close the position and wait. So I actually like to do that. I rather close the position and wait. So and see what happens, because most likely you get a rejection and then you get a way better entry, like 8-9% lower than from where you exited, and then you trade the break of that W neckline. AVAX is actually good. And I think afterwards I'm gonna bounce, guys. I have other things to do. I think I'm gonna bounce then. So AVAX, also here, W pattern not completed yet. Broke the downward sloping trend line. Broke above that intermediate resistance here that I just showed you on other coins that is not broken. So AVAX did that already. So that is good to long for me right now. AVAX, actually, let me see. How are my other trades doing on BloFin? I think I have on BloFin a lot of money still available that I can allocate. Yeah. So I open yet now another AVAX trade. So I will not use too much money. I'm gonna put in there like $5,000 or something. Yeah. Because then I can still average down if I need to. But I want to have a quick look here. Where was that? Not here. Where's my other chart? Let's see what AVAX is saying over here. I want to make sure. I should potentially wait a little bit. Yeah, that looks like it will run out of steam here, and I get a better chance potentially tomorrow. Or what's here? Oh, 30 minutes chart. I could scalp here quick. So I think I will scalp here a little bit. I will take a small scalp trade here. That looks fine for a scalp, even if it's just like, yeah, something like this. So, and then, so I gonna just aim here for like a 5% move or something, because the 30 minutes chart is about to send this to the upside. So I'm not aiming for much here. Yeah, so that looks for me fine. $23.50, something like this. That's what I'm looking for. Like I said, nothing crazy. I don't want to go crazy here right now. I just want to make here a quick buck, and then I'm out of this again. No, so if that vote gets passed now in the House, where did the stream go? Oh, I think here. Oh, I know I did. Okay. So let's see. So once that is passed, the whole market will explode. We just keep going higher. Bitcoin is already trying to push you higher because we know already it will get passed. There's no way that they're not passing that. Now the government wants these things to be passed. That's why Trump had like an emergency meeting yesterday, calling everybody to his office and said like, what the fuck, so get it passed. And then they changed their votes and said, okay, actually we're gonna do it. So that's why it's now on the House floor to pass it. So there is, I don't know why they need to discuss this before they do it. But they're gonna end up doing it. So there's no way that they're gonna get rejected on the House floor now. And then Trump will sign it into law. Will I be again awake when this is happening? Because it's in the middle of my night when he will sign it. No, I think that's just, yeah, I will be just an hour or two asleep. There's at 5 p.m. Today, he's going to sign it into law. So they're now finished like in 30 minutes, 36 minutes. And when they say, oh, yes, let's do this, then basically 5 hours later, Trump will sign it. So once it's signed, that's just the final nail in the coffin with the confirmation. Yeah, basically, yes. Basically, Trump is causing altcoin season for all of us, which is really, really nice. Guys, I'm here now for an hour. That's more than enough. I was here way longer than I intended. But thank you so much for everybody that was here. I'm going to keep you updated on Twitter. I will be still awake to see what's happening with the vote. Gonna update you there. So if you don't follow me there, AMCryptoAlex is my Twitter handle. And I will be back then tomorrow. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and we will make definitely more money in our portfolios also tomorrow.